Hello and welcome to the House of the Spirit. Welcome home. Today we're going to have a reading about important messages from your spirit guides. So, for pile number 1, we have Taurus, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Your card is Hope, Big Water, For the second pile, we have Sagittarius, Virgo, Aquarius, and Pisces. Your card is Military Person. For the third pile, we have Leo, Scorpio, a bit feisty. We have Gemini and Aries, with success in love. Okay. I will give you a moment for you to choose your pile using the card, the tarot deck, the zodiac sign, or just your intuition. I will see you in your reading. Pile number 1, your card is Hope, Big Water. And this card is about spirituality and attending to the important matters in your life. So I feel like whatever this reading is about, it's surely something that you consider at the top of your priority list. So it's something that can encompass your whole life's mission and also the way you connect to spirit. Okay, so let's start. What are the important messages coming through for pile number 1, 2? Okay, just 1 second. So we have fairies of the future. So this is truly about your plans, your hopes, your dreams for your future, what you wish would come true for you. You have himself. Okay. Masculine energy. Wow. And then you have the fairy who was kissed by the pixies. This is one of the most positive cards in this deck, and it's just receiving love, and without expectation, without having to put in an effort, just being loved for who you are. It's very beautiful. But there's something you need to do. So there's an action here, but it's an action that is very, I think it's easily accepted. Like the effort is easily accepted. It's not so much of an effort, really. It's just an expression of your desire to act. It feels really natural and spontaneous and in tune with your soul's purpose. Important messages from spirit guides. Okay, let's get the others. Just 1 or... okay, 3. So, we have the duel with the 21st moon mansion. The duel. And Artemis. So maybe you have to show a little bit of restraint regarding someone or something. I guess I'll have to put the cards in a different way if I want to fit them here. Let me see if I can arrange them. Like this. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so we have the waning crescent moon with a decrease in fire. This is the seed stage, and you have the keyword deal. That's interesting because you have deal and dual. So you might achieve some sort of an agreement with someone with whom you are being someone who is challenging you somehow, or a challenging situation. It seems like it's a person to me. And if you show restraint, you will get to the deal. So we have the black moon in air, and this is the dormant stage with revision. Okay, so you do have to revise your position, maybe reconsider. And then you have the black moon in water with dormant, and the keyword is isolation. This is both of them are dormant. Revision and isolation. So I feel like you're here. You're here. It's the same waning crescent. Okay. So it feels like some kind of standstill conflict is happening here. And it feels like you're here. So you're facing something that is immovable. So you've progressed enough so that you're now facing something, an obstacle, a person, a situation that is immovable, let's say. So it's like they present the same power, counteracting your actions, your will. But you have himself here, and himself is about the magic of creation, the power of creation. He has the power, and also procreation. So if this is your desire, so it feels like you are now in a clash of wills, and ironically, the best way to progress is to step into yourself and to reassess your position. It's not the time to be very impulsive, because I feel like if you put yourself in a position that is a bit more receptive, you will get everything that you want. And you will also be shown a lot of love, because the fairy who was kissed by the pixies, she's just giving, and you are able to also give. Okay, this can be a relationship. This can be it can go both ways, but to me it feels like you have to step back a little bit so that you get to receive. Because there's a great potential for you to arrive at a conclusion that is good for everyone. And it's also about planning for the future. So there's something here about you knowing what to do with this, knowing what to expect. And also, what's interesting here is that there's the possibility for it to be a little bit more than you are realizing right now. So there, I feel like there's something that can be more, or that can undergo an expansion. And so this might also be the influence of Jupiter here, because Jupiter is really exalting the zodiac at the moment. So you might be especially or specifically affected by this. And this important information has to do with the use of that energy. So Jupiter might give you the opportunity to kind of rest for a while, because the expansion can occur and will occur whether you are working on it or not. So when you are more passive or more receptive, it's still expanding, it's still growing. So it's there's this magic here that just creates. And you don't need to push things too far or push yourself too hard, or the other person or the situation. It just happens. And it's very natural. This can also be about your connection to spirit, or to your spirituality, to your spiritual practice or religion or your beliefs. There's something here about you expanding that scope, let's say, and having great blessings come to you in the shape of teachers, groups that want to share beautiful experiences with you. Something is happening. It's just coming to you naturally, but you need to be more receptive, maybe more silent. I don't know. It's not specifically silence that works. It's just your energy just being more like listening, observing, and also reassessing your position. Doesn't mean that you're not doing anything. You're just sitting around all day. Of course not. But it's just the energy. It feels like a very spiritual reading. So it is about your spiritual practice and the way you interact with spirit at this time, and also how that energy helps you with your dreams. Nine of Cups. So wish fulfillment. Once again, you have hope, big water, wish fulfillment. The future, fairies of the future. I guess that I'm picturing someone who is like in a group socializing, and maybe when you're speaking, you're very hypnotic. There's something hypnotic or magnetic about you, that when you speak, people just kind of freeze in their tracks, and they want to listen to you, or they want to see what they're curious about you. There's something that's intensified by your presence, and it might be useful in this present moment to be a little bit more mysterious, a little bit more just like blend in a little bit more. Don't erase yourself, and don't be silent if there's any need to speak, of course, but observing others, like having a lot of curiosity also about others, because I feel like your energy can be a little bit it can cancel other people's energy very easily. And I'm not saying this in a negative way. It's actually a characteristic that can be incredibly useful. But you may be a very competitive person, for instance, like if you enter certain situations, you want to do your best and you're thinking about how you can do things better, make things better, make everything better, like at the office, very productive. And this can be very helpful. And it doesn't mean like that you can't do those things, of course, if you need to do them. But there's also this aspect here that it would be very beneficial if you gave more space to other people that you don't know. So it's like you have no idea what's going to happen if you give them space, but there's something in that unknown here. There's a kind of a curiosity that I feel like would be better at the moment for you, because I feel like there's the danger here for you to be so have so much initiative and so much energy that it kind of cancels the possibility of you also getting things effortlessly. And I do think that you can receive more effortlessly than if you're working very hard. And I believe I'm talking to people who might be very like a perfectionist, and they can be not cruel. I wouldn't say cruel to yourself, but I would say demanding, very high standards. But the thing is, it kind of overshadows sometimes the possibility for you to get the love that you also need. Because I feel like sometimes you want to do things very well and you're very happy with what you have done, but the love is still from you to yourself, which is very, very important. But there's something to be said here in this specific reading about the other, because you have dual and you have deal. So I feel like there's something to be said about how you relate to other people, especially people who you don't know well and you are just encountering in the workspace, in the office, in your professional life. I feel like that's more like the context of it. It can be friendship, it can have the potential for great connections and happy meetings, joyful, but I feel like at this moment your dreams come true because you are receptive more than you are demanding yourself to act, or it's like you have this innate creation power and magic that needs to be more, needs to be. It just needs to be. It just is. And there's no action. It's like there's no action that you can do to move things forward. It's your natural existence and being and just state of being. That's so interesting. It's like a very natural form of love. Two of Swords. Sorry for this. Just 1 second. You have the Ten of Cups. So it feels like being on holiday, actually. It feels like being on holiday, but still working. So doing things, but with a peace of mind and a peaceful state. I feel like it's decompressing. Everything is decompressing. It's a moment for you to check in with yourself. So we have the Magician. And okay, interesting. Just 1 second. Okay, we have the Queen of Wands. So that's what I was saying. I'm feeling like your magic is just you sitting there. It's just you sitting on your throne and just being on fire like that, and things just come effortlessly. Your relaxation is a powerful tool for creation. Your state of mind, your state, your emotional state, it really makes a difference at the moment. It can turn around a bad situation. Okay? It's like, you know, like in movies and in fiction, you have this moment when you say, when all hope is lost, there's something. And I feel like it can be, you can call it divine intervention. And it is. But it's focusing less on the divine and how spirit's working, and more on yourself. There's a surrender, right? And I feel like it's that feeling. So your spirit guides are telling you to give up, but it's not to give up. And now giving up can mean giving to spirit. It's not the giving up that is defeated, that is defeatist. There's no defeat here. There's just a realization that this stagnant situation, this standstill, is also, it's like you're supporting it with your tension. So if you relax, it just melts. And you are put in a different position. It's like you transmute, your shape changes so much that you start also emitting a signal, a different signal. It's magic. It's magic. You have this here. The Magician can also be about communication, and it feels like you communicate something so naturally. It's like you're sending all the signs to the universe, to people, to animals, to nature, to God, that you are allowing yourself to receive whatever comes. And that's a beautiful thing. That is a way of loving life. Four of Cups. Seven of Swords. And the High Priestess. So I feel like if you're honest with yourself at this point and you look inward, you'll see that you've been limiting yourself a lot because of your lack of will to look outside, to expand your emotional landscape, okay? To make new friends, to go to different places. So there was, I feel like there was a need to have a stricter plan that I feel like is now relaxing. So you don't need a strict plan, a strict set of directions to follow at the moment. You need to let it flow. It's a bit dark, isn't it? So, okay, that's better, I hope. Seven of Wands, Ace of Swords, and the King of Cups. Beautiful. I'm also getting the message of you not being so fast to respond, so not having this knee-jerk reaction to things, and give more space to others and to the situation to breathe and to keep your emotional world a little bit more guarded, and having a more like surgical expression of your emotions will help this situation a lot. Because if you're too very reactive and very explosive and just saying whatever comes to your mind or whatever you feel at the moment, can be a little bit too much, can be a little bit and unnecessary, because you will be better served. So even your emotional world and your emotional balance and harmony will be better served if you have a little bit more of restraint or softness in your emotional expression. But it would be even better if you were surgical. So you say exactly what you mean one time, and you don't need to be constantly reacting, okay? Because just your existence seems to be communicating to other people and to the world all the information that is needed at the moment, and you can relax. So you can use the energy that you would use just responding to the situations around you. You can use it for yourself. You can use it to take care of yourself also. Okay, I think I'll finish with So we have learning in silence. Revisions. Learning in silence, studying, reason, and discernment. So learning in silence. So I was talking about silence in the beginning, and then I thought, no, silence is not the appropriate word, but maybe it is. And then you have duality with alternation, paradox, hardship, mediation, and threshold. So I think I'm being drawn to the mediation here, the keyword mediation, because you have duality, and deal. So there's this, I do feel like this is another person. So there are two people here. One of them should be you, and you're creating something with this person. It's something creative. You can be a couple. This can be a relationship, but this can also be a creative endeavor that you have with someone. Maybe it's a partner, a business partner. There is a partnership here. There is back and forth with someone, conversations. But I also feel like both of you have something to discover, have something to receive. each of you has something to receive that both of you deserve. And I think that one of the messages here is also that both of you can have exactly what you want and what you need. Because you have the fairy who's kissed by the pixies. And this is like being surrounded by love. It's like love is all around. You just need to choose it. So I feel like both of you are in a situation that can have, it has a potential, it has everything to work, it has everything to be a beautiful connection or a productive situation. But the standstill needs to be resolved. And I think that on your end, I've described your situation. So here's the advice. And on the other person's side, there's nothing that you can do. There's just, it's like your job is done. If you do your thing, your job is done. Because the situation, the relationship, is already a state of mediation. There is already this sense of back and forth, of give and take, of energy that is given and received. So that's fine, okay? That's fine. It's the way that you both go about doing it, and the choices that you make together that matter. So being less impulsive and less responsive, less reactive, can help you a lot these days, because your existence is already a great, powerful evidence of love. Your presence. Your presence, simply being present, already does this great magical operation, this enormous transmutation of energy. So incredible. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, subscribe to the newsletter. I'm also available for personal readings at the moment, so you can send me an email. You'll find it below. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 2, your card is Military Person. And military person can be about a specific person, of course, but it can be just about service, people who wear a uniform or who believe in something, who are very disciplined, who have strict routine or a strict mindset. Okay, so let's see how this fits in to your story today. So, what are the important messages for pile number 2? Okay. Singer of Transfiguration. Here. And Unity. Interesting. So you have the first card and the 11th card. And then you have the card 22 of the mystical Kipper. So master numbers 1 and 2. 11 and 22. Powerful. So maybe this is talking about a powerful person. It can be a powerful person in your life, but also a person who holds a lot of power. They have a position in life where they can be the authority. Maybe it's you. Okay, let's see. So we have the waxing crescent moon, increasing water, the sprout stage with instinct. We have, this is the waning crescent moon with a decrease in water, the seed stage with disillusionment. So these are the opposite sides of the cycle. Increase and decrease. Then we have the 24th moon mansion with the mask. And also the 25th, that's interesting, with a rebel. So you have 1, 2, and then you have 24, 25. This is a sequence. And then you have the opposites here. It's like there's a lot of order and patterns in this reading. So someone is very orderly. It can be you or someone important for you. I actually feel like this is about you. So this is about you. And I would say that you hold, so I'm talking to people who probably hold authority or are going to hold authority over others or over a situation. So leaders, bosses, team leaders, someone who is leading people or who is going to lead, teachers even, and especially people who wear uniforms. Mask can also be a uniform. It can be the way you present yourself. Another possible layer of this reading is that someone might be revealing their true intentions, but I feel like you have the right instinct about this situation. So although it might be a little bit of a disappointment, you will also find creative ways to solve this, to find new solutions, new paths forward. I feel like you can build something. You can build something from whatever you find is true. So whatever revelation, whatever information comes to you about a person's intentions, about their knowledge, their particular position, and their point of view, whatever you find out about it, you will then use it to do something creative. And I'm also feeling like there's a person here that thinks that what you are doing is crazy, thinks that what you are doing is going to fail, and you are going to prove them wrong because you can build. You are a master builder. You can transform things into masterpieces, into works of art. And this might mean also that you are doing things that are out of the ordinary. So for people who are very strict and who have a very disciplined and restricted view of life, this can be very, very uncomfortable. And I feel like someone is going to show their discomfort about something that you're up to. So you have the moon. So yeah, I do feel like there's some hidden information here that you're going to have access to. Queen of Pentacles. I feel like it's about a person. Queen of Swords. The moon again. So we have two moons. I feel like you have maybe more than one person in your life that is hiding something about themselves, or this situation is cloaking at least two. I'm getting the feminine energy here, but not necessarily. It's like being judged and the opinion of important people, but that being hidden and then coming into the light. Page of Pentacles. You know what I heard? I heard keep asking questions, keep moving and talking to people, keep questioning yourself and others about things. Sorry. Okay. Nine of Swords. Remove all doubt. You have to keep asking questions. You have to push the buttons of people. You have to try to get them to show you something, to coax them, let's say. It might not be easy in the beginning because it feels like these people are, it's like they wear a heavy mask, or they wear a heavy let's say like a cloak of responsibility, like a king or a queen. So they have a lot of weight on their shoulders, and I feel like that also doesn't help with them being like honest or upfront about something with you. Seven of Swords. The Empress. Knight of Wands. And the Chariot. But you also have your own ability to create, your ability to transform a difficult situation into an opportunity. You have that on your side, and you also, I feel like you're also getting access to information through another route that can help you with this, and that can help you move forward and move towards your goal. I think you're going to find people to collaborate with and that want to help you in different places and in different settings that they're different from the ones that you are considering at the moment. I feel like it seems like you're possibly battling a giant organization, or people who have a lot of they have a lot of responsibility, and they're kind of surrounded by this wall. And it's not only protecting them, it's also imprisoning them. It feels like they're kind of restricted by their own role. So they're not going to be much help. But if they were a little bit more upfront, if they could be more upfront, you'd be on your way faster. And I feel like this reading comes to you so that you have this adaptability and have this agility to, okay, this is not working. I'm going in another direction. There's another possibility. So if you open your mind up to this possibility, Knight of Cups. Yeah, I do feel like someone is bringing you information, and someone is offering you an opportunity, but it comes from a different place. It's a different situation. Ace of Swords. Knight of Swords. Wow. There's a lot of communication here. You have 3 knights and the Ace of Swords. So there's a lot of opportunities to clarify, to bring clarity to the situation. You need to keep pushing and to keep pressing all the buttons and to keep asking questions and talking to people, because it's coming towards you. It's coming towards you. And there's nothing stopping this strength. And the 6 of Wands, you will overcome. When I saw strength, immediately I heard, you will overcome. You will find new opportunities and new directions to move towards. And the trick here is having the flexibility to think outside of the box and to understand that this institution or this group of people or this person has a lot of power. They seem like they have the right, they have the right role, they have the right position, social or economical or professional. They seem to be at the right place at the right time, but actually they're not very helpful for you. And they want to kind of hold that power and hold that position, and they're kind of holding that posture, like stiff posture, to try to show you that they have all the power, but actually they're really restricted by their own role and by the position they hold. So it's a bit of an act, okay? It's a bit of an act, and you have to think laterally here. It's not obvious. So it's like everybody thinks that, and this is, of course, this is just a way to paint an image in your mind. So everyone thinks that the president has all the power, or the king has all the power, but actually they are embodying a role, and they're very restricted in the actions they can take if they don't want to be taken down, and if they don't want to be destroyed somehow, and if they don't want to destroy whatever they're responsible for and leave this horrible legacy. So someone is less powerful than you think, although their position is very important. So then you have DNA, sharing, primordial essence, and eternity, and initiation, tradition, death and resurrection, spiritual medicine. Is this about family? Suddenly I got this intuition that this might have to do with family, with someone in your family, someone who is highly regarded in the family and has a lot of has this important role. Or It has something to do with you thinking in a way that creates a new path for life, that creates a kind of an alternative hierarchy to the traditional hierarchy, and that will help life flow again. And it will also help you get more opportunities and the victory that you need. So whatever you're going through, it seems like the solution has to do with you thinking outside of the box, doing something maybe even unorthodox, but still with a lot of knowledge of the power structure, but while knowing this power structure very well, creating an alternative to it. And not giving up, asking questions, talking to people, pressing the buttons, making calls. There's something here also about networking and communicating. So maybe there's also an aspect of policy making and the creation of policies, the creation of documentation, new ideas for legislation, for instance, or for institutions, creating new institutions. So maybe Spirit wants to inspire you to create new institutions to help people survive and thrive, that can replace existing structures that are maybe obsolete and that are also turning people down and refusing to give people what they deserve, maybe. And it feels like you are one of the elements of the chain, because this is a lot of people working together, but it's kind of a chain reaction. You do your part, and then the other person gets energized by what you say, and they do their part, and it has this compounding effect. It's just, and then it reaches the ears of a person that can have this, that can do a certain job. They can do a certain job related to this, and slowly, people without really knowing each other start to get closer and closer, and one day they will meet and they will realize that they have been working together for this. It's like a community effort to reveal a power that is hidden, and it feels like it's the power of cooperation. It can even be something online, for instance, because I feel like there's a really flowy and rapid and quick exchange of ideas that will give you the possibility to work like in a network and overcome a lot of hurdles, a lot of challenges that are now blocking the path. Not only for you, I feel like this is, there's some kind of this is a service that you are also lending. It's a part of your mission to serve in this way, to serve the collective in this way. So interesting. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 3. Your card is Success in Love. And Success in Love is about success in love, but also success overall. So this can be about a relationship. This can be about love. But it can also be just you achieving your success, or something, you're getting a message that is about what you consider your success. Okay. So, any important messages for pile number 3. Okay, a lot of cards. Let's start with the fairies. Important messages. We have the fawn. Okay, one more. Just give me a moment. So we have the Tabara of the waters. Okay. That's the rest of the cards. We have full moon in fire with flowers. Keyword is recognition. So your success might come with recognition. Wow. And then you have, this is the waxing gibbous moon. And it's an increase in air with the flower bud. And the keyword is promotion. Recognition, promotion. So we have Gaia. We have the Knight with the 8th moon mansion. And the Fountain with the 10th moon mansion. Okay. So there's a lot of correspondence between the cards. Tabara of the Waters and Fountain, it has to do with this creative force, the creative and also healing process that happens when we express our creativity, creativity and our essence through, I don't know, it can be art, it can be any form of expression, any form of self-expression, any form of you seeing outside of yourself a creation that expresses, that mirrors your inner being and your magic also, your inner magic. And it's something that comes naturally to you also. But I feel like it's time for you to enjoy the recognition that comes with you showing off who you are, promotion. You also might need to defend what you believe, to show what you do and defend it, and then let the magic work through what you are showing. So it might be time to show what you're doing to the world. This is a time for you to enjoy the feedback from others, to enjoy the response that will also nurture your inspiration. It will also feed your heart and your soul to have that feedback. But I feel like this reading comes to you so that you also accept the part that it might trigger some defensive mechanisms in others, and it might also mean that you have to kind of protect what you think is valuable, what you think is worth protecting. Not everyone will like what you do, and Gaia is about that, but it doesn't matter. All that matters is that you are expressing yourself and also not afraid to defend what you believe in if and when necessary. But let's dive into the tarot and see. We have the Moon. King of Swords. Ace of Cups. The Chariot. Three of Wands. And the Hermit. Interesting. So it's telling me that you need to focus more on the very small steps that you take and the results, the small little pieces of information that you get from showing your work, from communicating who you are, communicating your work. So I would say that it's better for you to focus on the little things, the little hints that you get from communicating what you do, instead of taking things very deeply or assuming that when people say something that it's really very meaningful, because sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's it can be superficial judgment. So I would just try to focus more on the things that you are doing and the small actions that you're taking that can lead you in on the path to success, and that can lead you in the right direction. Because I feel like you might trigger a lot of deep emotions in others, and that can be confusing if you are too receptive to that. So I would focus more on the work and on your own energy doing the work, the intention that you're putting on it, and how you're feeling doing it, and managing your own emotional state, your own healing, your own emotional balance, and not so much other people's ideas. Although you are exposing yourself to the feedback of others. It can be very nurturing. It can be very deep. It can be something that also inspires you tremendously. But what's interesting here is that I feel like you must do that, but still now focusing more on the very little details of going about that action of doing. For instance, if you have to put together your curriculum and your so you have to deliver your resume to some entity or many entities, or present yourself, or do some sort of public speaking even, and or create communications of who you are, of what you do. I would say focus more on the technique of doing that and the results that you're getting, and not so much on the more like deeper aspects or emotional dimensions, even spiritual. I would leave that for a later stage, and also for the moments when you feel like you can digest it, like you can process it. So not really interacting too much, not engaging too much, just this is who I am, this is what I do, here is my work, and you gather the information that you need, and then you go and process it, but not reacting in the moment. That's how I'm feeling, because I feel like you need to go to the source first. You need to to understand how that the magic is working, because there's a lot of things that might be apparent to you, that might be shown to you by other people when they're giving you the feedback, that might not be, you shouldn't take it at face value, because they might confuse you if you focus too much on them and not so much on the, like, the subtext is more important, really. The subtext, the what is behind it, because sometimes people have a very superficial view. They don't give themselves also time to understand what they're seeing and who you really are. And that's normal, that's natural. People have their own ideas and their own lives, and most people live in their minds and very stuck in their own dramas and stories, and that's perfectly fine. That's just normal. So you have Page of Wands, Nine of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. I think that you have to focus on your work, on what gives you pleasure, and really not worry too much about what other people think, although you do have to accept the feedback. It's just reinforcing the same idea that you need to move forward with your own ideas. Your ideas are the ones that give you the success that you need, but you do need to get that feedback also. There's something here about you kind of collecting that energy and accepting and embracing what other people have to give, but also giving them time and giving yourself time to make it your own, to turn it into something that you can use, also to inspire you. Even the bad feedback, right? Even the bad reactions, even, or the kind of lukewarm or strange or awkward, there's something here to be said a bit about you preserving, protecting your ideas, defending them from harmful influences or from the sadness of others. Also, a lot of people will project their sadness onto what you are doing. So there's something that you're doing that triggers people's negative emotions. But that's part of the healing, and that shouldn't be negative in of itself, although the experience might feel negative and uncomfortable. It's almost as if you have shown them that you can deal with it by, there's something like there's a magic that comes through your work that shows people that you are able to deal with difficult things, and they naturally emerge from them. It seems like they can't help it. It's something natural. You have the fawn. The fawn is the natural magic. So it's like the rain. It's like the flower that blooms when it's sunny. It's just, it happens because nature made it that way. And there's something about you, your nature, that can trigger this. But you have to see this as success. And if you go to the source of your inspiration, and if you go deep inside yourself, you will understand why. And maybe not even me, especially now, can explain to you exactly how this can happen and how this is happening. It seems like you have to go inward and also have a dialogue with this aspect. Six of Cups. Seven of Cups. And then you have, wow, look at that. 5 of Cups and 10 of Cups. It seems like you have it's like there's a negative association with positive things. I feel like it's kind of a short circuit here. It seems like your emotions can short circuit sometimes. They can create a loop, and then it's like negative and positive start blending into one. And I feel like if you explore the reaction of others to your work or to your presence, to whatever you're presenting, maybe you will also discover something about how this came to be for you. How is this positive and negative colliding or kind of canceling each other's energy and maybe numbing the whole situation? How did you associate success with negative emotions? How did you associate the exposing your ideas and exposing your work? How did you associate that with negative consequences or negative emotions? I feel like you have to go to the source of that. You have to go to the very bottom of that to understand something about yourself that is how do I say this? It's influencing, and it's something about yourself that's present when you are successful, that has this melancholic tone and this heaviness, and it puts you in a defensive mode. You can go to the source of it and do whatever you want with it. It's up to you. Knowledge, nonverbal communication, time and space, and generations. This might have been something that happened when you were very young, even before you were speaking or communicating verbally, before you were verbal. So you have revisions, learning in silence, studying, reason, discernment. So I feel like there has to be this separation of concepts here at the very root of it, at the very source of it. The source, what is the first time you were recognized? So usually it's our parents or our caretakers, our brothers, sisters, someone in your closest circle that imprints the first idea of recognition. That might not be the case for you, but this might be helpful for some of you. And I think that if you go to the bottom of that, go to that memory, and you start to treat it as it's not treated, it's recreated. If you recreate, it's almost even like painting. If you paint a picture of what happened, or you make a drawing or make a song about what happened. So you make something that expresses exactly how you felt, and it's the best depiction of that situation. You make the original and then you remake it in your own fashion, in your own way. And so you understand, so you don't change the past, but actually you do, because you understand that it doesn't need to be that. It can be many other things, and specifically it can be this ideal thing that you can imagine, that you can create, that you can transform, because that magic is natural in you. And I feel like you have to tap into, you have source and the fawn, so you have to, and the Tobaro of the waters, you have to tap into the source. You have to go there. You have to go there with the hermit. Nobody else can go there. With the hermit, only you can go there. Only you know truly what happened. And only you can change that. So I feel like I'm talking to a group that is really powerful like that. You have a lot of magic in your presence and in your hands, and in how you create things in your life. So it comes with a lot of responsibility also. And if you see yourself, and it's like if you saw yourself how other people see you, you would realize that people see that power in yourself, and they don't understand sometimes why you don't see it. And maybe this is your opportunity to see it for what it is. Painful and beautiful. It's disillusionment and excitement and joy. It's mixed. There's something, it's like instead of it being black and white, it's kind of gray. It's not a color that defines, okay? There's no definition. And I feel like if you go to that source, you define things, you create a picture that is clear for you. It also becomes clear to others. Very interesting. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, subscribe to the newsletter so we can keep in touch. I'm also available for personal readings. You can send me an email. You'll find it below. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.